look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
Joe Rogan didn't hide his doubts when Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims came up. He basically leaned forward during the podcast and said, "Wait a second, that math just doesn't add up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire, that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Rogan questioned the entire narrative surrounding Floyd, saying that claims about owning dozens of buildings worth tens of millions don't necessarily prove the full story. He pointed out that making flashy statements about wealth is one thing, but having verified assets to back those claims is something completely different.
That money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You could sell those.
That's where the conversation starts to get interesting, because Floyd built the entire Money Mayweather persona around the image of limitless wealth, huge stacks of cash, luxury watches, and a financial empire that looked completely untouchable. However, reports circulating in the business world suggest the reality may be more complicated than the flashy image people see.
That Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, Two of Mayweather's commercial properties have already gone through foreclosure, and there were also reports suggesting that his Las Vegas strip club building could face seizure due to unpaid property taxes. On top of that, lawsuits have surfaced claiming unpaid bills for luxury watches and jewelry, allegations Floyd has denied. All of this shifts the conversation from flashy bragging rights to serious financial scrutiny.
They said that, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a 54.
The outlet also reported that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos owned by Mayweather were temporarily seized because of unpaid taxes before being returned after the payment was made. There were also claims of a massive $54 million loan that reportedly used his homes, private jet, and businesses as collateral. Whether these issues are the result of exaggeration or misunderstanding, the contrast between the public money image and these reports has definitely sparked debate. Joe Rogan's skepticism about Floyd's financial empire had already stirred the conversation, but things escalated even more when Chael Sonnen jumped into the discussion. He approached the whole "Is Floyd broke?" headline with blunt confidence, basically questioning why people were acting surprised in the first place.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these?
He literally flips the question back on the audience, asking why people find it surprising that a boxer would continue fighting for money. He argues that if ordinary people wake up and go to work every week because they need income, then it shouldn't be shocking when fighters do the same thing. It's classic Chael logic, part blunt honesty and part trolling energy. But he doesn't stop there. Chael goes further by challenging the mythology around massive boxing paydays, pointing out that the billion-dollar earnings claims and huge pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional press releases rather than publicly verified financial records. He even mentions that no one from the companies actually processing the pay-per-views has confirmed those extreme figures. That statement alone throws serious doubt on years of boxing hype narratives.
Gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
He turns the question back on the audience, wondering why people act surprised that a boxer might keep fighting to make money. His point is simple. If regular people wake up and go to work every week because they need income, then it shouldn't be shocking when fighters do the same. It's classic Chael, part blunt honesty, part troll energy. But he doesn't stop there. Chael also starts questioning the myths around huge boxing paydays, explaining that the billion-dollar earnings claims and massive pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional press releases rather than verified financial records. He adds that no one from the companies actually handling the pay-per-view sales has confirmed those extreme figures, a comment that throws serious doubt on years of boxing hype narratives.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic to...
While critics accuse Floyd's own promotion of creating similar confusion during the Logan Paul fight, The whole situation starts to feel like a hall of mirrors, with everyone pointing fingers and blaming someone else. Yet there's an interesting contradiction that Scheel unintentionally highlights. People may question Floyd's finances, doubt the size of his paydays, debate the contracts, or even roll their eyes at exhibition fights. But the moment Mayweather's name shows up on a fight poster, the entire combat sports world still stops and pays attention.
Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way.
Chael Sonnen already tossed gasoline on the whole Floyd might be broke conversation.
But when Jason Whitlock
and that panel jump in, and the discussion
instantly morphed into a full-blown round of financial detectives. I found myself thinking, wow, we've officially gone from fight analysis to forensic accounting, with boxing gloves on. Whitlock kicked things off by leaning into Shannon Sharpe and Oasis's theory that Floyd's unretirement is all about chasing a massive payday. And the moment names like Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, and Terence Crawford start getting thrown around, the business angle hits immediately. Shannon points out that those are essentially the only fights capable of generating the kind of money Floyd might want. Basically a celebrity superfight menu. Then Whitlock throws in a classic Rocky movie reference, asking, "Why do you fight?" And suddenly the conversation turns philosophical in the funniest, most unexpected way.
Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. For one, a rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice.
Because, Floyd built an entire brand around the idea that money equals success, literally transforming from pretty boy to money. Whitlock points out the brutal irony. When your whole image is built on wealth, any rumor of financial trouble instantly becomes a headline hurricane. Then Dre adds a more grounded perspective, saying the real issue isn't what Floyd earned, it's what we don't know about his liquidity, assets, liabilities, taxes, and lifestyle. Essentially, the financial iceberg beneath the flashy Instagram photos. Meanwhile, the panel cracks jokes about gamblers going broke, IRS bills, and luxury spending, making Floyd's career start to look less like a victory lap and more like a complicated puzzle. Yet here's the part that makes me laugh. While half the panel questions the logic of watching a nearly 50-year-old fighter step back into the ring, the other half quietly admits what every fight fan knows deep down. If Floyd Mayweather actually announces a fight with someone like Crawford, Canelo, or even Pacquiao again, everyone arguing about it right now will still be glued to the screen when the bell rings.
$1 billion and he's 47 years old and he's completely broke. He's won the prize. This is, of all the idiots that we've seen out there, celebrities, actors, entertainers that have lost a lot of money, this guy would take the cake. To blow a bill before he even hits 50 is unimaginable. It actually is sad. It's a cautionary tale. We have seen it time and time again. But who actually wants to watch this guy fight? Like, people that love him. If he comes out and if he loses and looks terrible and gets destroyed, well, look, if you love him or hate him, you can say, well, he's nearly 50 years old. This doesn't.
Whitlock and the panel had already turned Floyd's comeback story into a full-blown financial courtroom drama, but when Andre Ward joined the conversation, the tone shifted immediately, from hot take speculation to fighter-level reflection. And honestly, that contrast hits differently. Ward starts by reminding everyone that he's always respected Floyd's work ethic, and I'm nodding because that often gets lost when people only focus on the flash. He points out that the glitz, the cars, the jets, all of that was part of the Mayweather brand, but underneath it, there was always a gym rat who never skipped the grind. When Ward admits he's conflicted about this comeback, you can feel the honesty, because he's not attacking Floyd like the rumor mill has been doing. He's speaking to something deeper. Boxing becomes part of your identity. Ward explains that the adrenaline, the attention, and the massive fight night checks create a feeling that regular life can't replicate.
part of that is because of the way Floyd Mayweather goes about his business. He's been filthy rich. He's made his name, his legacy, and a lot of his reputation wasn't just the boxing. It was the money. It's the money man. What I have, what I'm driving, what I'm living in, what I'm flying in. And a lot of people, they don't like that. I don't know if Floyd Mayweather had more supporters for most of his fights or more haters. But regardless of where you fall on that line, Floyd Mayweather made it work for him when many people, promoters included, networks included, early on didn't think.
That's the kind of insight only a former champion can offer. Then Ward pivots to the Pacquiao rematch, and suddenly the analyst in me wakes up again. He points out something interesting. Older fighters sometimes produce more action because they can't rely on constant movement like they once did. Less foot speed often means more exchanges, and that alone flips the common narrative that this fight would automatically be boring. But the tension Ward keeps returning to is the real danger of age. Your mind thinks you're the same fighter, while your body quietly disagrees. That observation alone explains half the tragedies boxing has ever seen. Yet even as Ward admits he'd rather see both legends relaxing on a beach, enjoying retirement, he also concedes that curiosity wins again. When two icons with unfinished history step back into the ring, the entire fight world watches, whether we plan to or not.
Watch a fighter, he'll say he don't watch him, but he'll watch any potential opponent over and over and over, and he has to process, can he do anything with me? How does my skill set line up with his? Can I beat him? The problem with being 49 years of age is sometimes your brain can see things and tell you things that your body's not in agreement with. That's the problem with age. Your brain is still saying, I'm him. Your brain is still saying, man, I'm Money Mayweather. Man, these youngsters can't deal with me. But your body is saying, brother, we can't do it like that.
Stepping back and looking at the whole situation, it honestly feels like four completely different realities colliding at once. Joe Rogan questions the financial empire narrative, Chael Sonnen tears apart the mythology of boxing paydays, Whitlock's panel dissects the business and lifestyle side, and Andre Ward brings the fighter's perspective, reminding everyone that boxing gets into your DNA in a way money alone can't replace. One side argues that Floyd's comeback is all about chasing another massive payday, while another says the financial rumors are overblown gossip. Ward's insight quietly points out that sometimes fighters return because the spotlight, the competition, and the adrenaline are experiences that normal life simply can't replicate. That tension, legacy versus longevity, business versus passion, drives the debate. Whether people believe Floyd is chasing money, history, or just that feeling of being Money Mayweather again, the conversation itself proves his influence, as everyone continues analyzing and arguing every angle of this comeback, highlighting the gravitational pull legends have on the sport.
That's the struggle, and that's the danger of coming back at this age. So part of me wants to see these guys continue to make money. Part of me wants to see these guys, how do they do it at this age? Man, show me something. Show me how your mind can overtake the deficiencies you may have in your body at your age. But the deeper part of me, man, I want to see Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao on a beach somewhere, living off the fruits of their labor, helping the game however they see fit to help the game, and just watching the next generations do what they do. But hey, we got to...
Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Floyd Mayweather's return is about chasing money, a genuine love for the sport, or unfinished legacy business with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a real conversation about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.